where it is, the government of the day.
Let me put it like this: if you look, North Africa, right, is connected to Arabia and Israel, the Middle East. So that's where the white people have been coming in for years, and they've been mixing. And they took over Egypt a long time ago. I know you've heard the story of Egypt was black. So the Sahel is basically black people who've been going from the Niger to the Nile, from Egypt to Gambia and Mauritania, and it's basically it's black North Africa. That's what the Sahel
It's,
is. But they've been
yeah,
getting pushed down, and what people call tribalism is usually
yeah.
maybe a white tribe using black tribes to kill each other because maybe they
Yeah.
say we're Islamic brothers or we've been mixing together. So you're part of us too. You kill those other black people, and we'll promise you a piece of the pie. Where we take over together. So they're hiding in
Mm,
bushes and forests, but it's all coming from Arabia, Djibouti, which is the Somali Empire, which is related to Ethiopian Empire. The Somali Empire,
mhm.
Djibouti just rang the alarm, saying that the Arab states are setting up military bases across Africa, and that's after Sudan already sued the United Arab Kingdoms or Emirates is what they call them. They sued the Arab kingdoms, saying that
Genocide.
yeah, genocide, and that's Sudan. So that's the Sahel. Once we get to Nigeria and Chad, uh, they're all connected to Sudan. So it's really one country, even the Sahel, and people don't want to. People are starting to say the truth about where the so-called tribalism is coming from, and the jihad is coming from white people who convince
Uh-huh.
black people to turn on each other. They convince
Right.
certain tribes, yeah. So that's what it really is, like race war, and they're using,
Are
yeah.
we getting from what is happening in Burkina Faso and so forth? Is
Mhm.
that helping to make any change in that direction?
With Burkina Faso, it's the thing with Burkina Faso. It's there's other countries that are working with them, right?
Yes, Niger and Mali.
And the first time we all heard of Mali was the Mali Empire, right?
Right, right,
So
right.
Mali Empire is a couple of tribes that work together for centuries, and Burkina Faso is related to them. And even
Yeah.
the capital is basically a tribal kingdom or tribe and the Hausa kingdoms in Niger. So all those tribes are working together, and they've been having these issues with the Tuareg and the Fulani tribes. But
Hmm.
again, that's coming from North Africa, telling them, "Hey, you should fight each other." They're not talking to North Africa isn't telling them about Marcus Garvey and hey, let's have a convention and say this is how we're going to work together. You're going to have this state within the United States of Africa. You don't have to because if you break off and have a country, which is some people are trying to do, you're still going to be in Africa. So okay, you break up, then you're going to come together and say it's the United States of Africa. Why not just call it the United States of Africa convention and say we want to go this way, we want to have our own military, and this is how we're going to share, or we need to get these guys. They're killing us. So it should be a United States of Africa convention, not everyone.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, because I seen where Toure and Niger and Mali president are looking to do something like that.
Yeah, so they're related to like Niger is related to Nigeria, the Hausa people,
Yes.
and
So
that
so
yeah.
so so what I'm trying to get across is this. Since they are trying to do that, isn't there any chance we could use that region to bring a unified force together, teaching Marcus Garvey movements and so forth, and getting it started there?
It's already been started in there and Nigeria and Uganda. That's what we're calling people together, but we started 7 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah. So saying that Nigeria is still not fully on board in organizing a united Africa.
The- Let's let let's say
The government of the day.
Yeah, so when Nigeria is a federation, so it has different parts of a country. So
Yeah.
let's say it's CARICOM, right? You could say
Yeah.
CARICOM doesn't want to work, but let's talk to the Jamaican captured lands people, and let's talk to the Maroons, or let's talk to this community development group in Jamaica. Just because
Right. Yeah.
Nigeria is basically CARICOM, it has a different,
Oh.
it has its own different countries and tribes in there,
Mm.
but we can work with some people inside Nigeria.
Yeah. Because even those that we would be trying to work with, they at times maybe had gone through some genocide by the other tribe or support. But we would need to um convince them that we need to cut away from that because it is not helping us, and we supporting these other persons coming in and telling us to do that and this and that is only becoming a part of our downfall.
Hmm.
Mm.
And
So, so
so this is the thing though, that the Burkina Faso is more professional, Mali is more professional, Niger is more
yeah,
professional. So these guys, it doesn't matter. In Nigeria, for example, the Igbo people, the town hall, like the town hall is part of the government. So if you're a village person, you're technically you could be eligible all the way to go all the way to the African Union if you because you're the lowest level of government. But people don't even think about that. They live in Africa and they talk. If your town hall is part of the government of Africa, you know how many people in the Caribbean would kill for that? But that's what they're at. That's what Marcus Garvey was trying to say.
yeah.
So we have the town halls are part of our government of Africa, and we're trying to link it up to town halls in the Caribbean. But then some people don't say when they're available or this. So I don't know. I have some people. Well,
Well,
I think.
one of the things one of the things that why you get me as so often is that I don't tie myself to a 9 to 5 job, and I have been trying to do that from about 1980.
Wow.
And I have taken majority of that from about 94 till now. I don't tie myself to a 9 to 5 job because I want to do these type of things for our race, our people.
Hmm.
Yes, and so I make myself available 24/7,
Mm.
24 hour any day, every day. I am available. I might be in a meeting or some form of thing like that, but it would be just a community type meeting, organizing persons into organization so as to either trying to get them to put up a economical structure so that persons can benefit. Those
Uh-huh.
are the things that I try to make myself a part of.
See, so
Even though I myself,
I would like just for the record, do you see those flags at the top of the forum?
yes.
You do you recognize each of them, or can you name them? Because that's the
No,
okay.
no,
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. But I need to. Or
Uh-huh.
if you want to, you could put them and the names of them in the chat so
Hmm.
that we could begin understanding about it.
I can name them because it's already it's things that are already in motion. So I think sometimes people see that see that other people are doing it and maybe they don't want to participate since they're not in charge or once people
That is one of the
sometimes
things.
yeah.
It is a problem, and I see where you have tried to show a person that you don't have to be the leader of this or that. I myself, as I said to you earlier on, if you cannot lead from the floor, you cannot lead from the front either.
Uh-huh. So
If
check
you
this
cannot
out.
lead from the floor, if you cannot lead from the floor, meaning you're just an ordinary member in
Uh-huh.
the organization. If you cannot lead from there, being an ordinary member, you
Okay.
can't lead from the front either,
This is what I want to say. Uganda, We have the Uganda Kings, but a secretary here. But
Mm-hmm.
the person that Uganda is part of the East African Federation of 8 countries, and
Yeah.
it hasn't now. Now it might take off as far as the black indigenous people looking at Marcus Garvey, marrying each other, taking over their resources, and not looking to become a European or give marry Europe and beg. But Uganda is one country. Then it's connected to Zimbabwe, which is the empire down south. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's Uganda and Zimbabwe. Those there are empires and federations there that can take over
Mm.
take over Central Africa, even the Congo. The kingdoms there, we
Yeah.
could get them all together from those two
Yeah.
countries, Uganda and Zimbabwe, and from there, um, a matter of fact, Uganda is actually connected to Jamaica. There's a Tecker kingdom. I think they're better at
Mhm.
communication, and communication really is a superpower because we're all black. We don't have, we know we're not running the world exactly right now. So, and we don't pay each other. So it's a volunteer thing. If you can respect another black person and pick up the phone and say, this is the plan and we execute it, that's a
Mhm.
superpower. That's a superpower. Now,
Yeah.
we're trying to see how we can add on to Burkina Faso. We say if we get Uganda, and maybe there's a kingdom that's already working with Jamaica that we could contact for Uganda. Zimbabwe is another empire, and then Nigeria. I think we could get Sudan and Chad. So I might just remove that flag if we just get to focus on Nigeria. Kanem Bornu. Um, Let me see.
Do
Yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah.
do you think it's is do you think you should have add Jamaica flag to it?
Yeah, because I think we can. If I think I should remove the Sudan and Ethiopia because Ethiopia is an African Union. If they see the Sahel uniting Nigeria and Chad, and Nigeria, Chad, and Sudan join Burkina Faso, then Addis Ababa is always going to be there, and it's part of the Sahel. So I think we get Nigeria, we'll get Chad and Sudan, the people that we're talking to in the Federation of Nigeria, the kingdoms, specifically
Mm.
Kanem Bornu, which is an ancient 1,000-year-old kingdom. Kanem Bornu covers Niger, which is the Sahel Alliance, Nigeria, parts of Nigeria, and that's where Boko Haram is. They're always attacking and saying Nigeria destroyed them. So it's
But
Niger.
who are Boko Haram really?
It's
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 an
a
African
mixture.
tribe that formed that organization, or it is European Union, European who form those organizations and destabilizing the country
I think it's part of the whole Arab influence and European influence, paying people and
of
miseducating them.
destabilizing. Yes, of
Yeah,
destabilizing. You see, one
yeah.
of the things that we need to begin letting go, is letting go these type of Muslim organization and Christian type of organization. The
Mhm.
if we begin letting go of those Arab type names, religions,
Hmm.
yeah, and these European religion, and begins going forward to our culture,
Hmm.
because that's what religion and these denominations do, divide us and destroy us from ourselves.
Hmm. And yeah, yeah. So I think the real focus should be Uganda and Zimbabwe because we could get Chad. Let's say it's a foregone conclusion that we'll get Chad and Sudan and Ethiopia. It's a foregone conclusion. Chad is already trying to join the Sahel Alliance, but you know Nigeria is the big brother in the area, so it's like Nigeria declared war on uh, the Sahel Alliance. So
Yeah,
that
I
means
see that, and
Nigeria,
that is
yeah,
a destabilizing thing happening
yeah,
there with that. So it is why at this point in time, we shouldn't pay much to Nigeria, who we see as a destabilizing force
no,
at the moment.
Nigeria is destabilizing the whole continent. That's what people have been telling people for a long time. Well, we've been saying it for a
Yeah,
long. Nigeria is backed by Britain, is backed by USA, is backed by everybody, like with white
right.
supremacist government. So you can't overlook Nigeria or Ghana. Everybody's related.
No, we can't overlook them. But one of the things that we need to do
Hmm.
is see how we can strengthen ourselves around them so that we can become as
Yes.
strong or stronger than them. So
Everybody
that
wants
there's
everybody wants to join the Sahel Alliance. It's Nigeria that's holding them back. So people aren't going to join until we say, okay, this part of Nigeria, Igbo land, wants to support the Sahel Alliance. They're not scared. So
so
Igbo land wants to join the Sahel
so
Alliance.
we need to find out how we can strengthen the Igbo people so that these people cannot come in and attack. Because I see that one of the things that persons are afraid of is being attacked by these other persons.
Hmm.
Uh, yes,
Yeah,
and
the government's been
yeah,
sending people, mercenaries from the Sahel to kill Igbo people, and Igbo people have been
from the
told to
soil
go,
or from
yeah,
Nigeria, from the soil or from Nigeria.
from the Sahel. They
That is
say
from Burkina Faso and Niger.
they say sometimes it's herdsmen or nomads from Mauritania, or some people say North Africa. Nobody knows where they're coming from. So they just killed 200 people the other day, last week, in a massacre. But so North,
And those are persons who belongs to where? Who died?
they're a mixed group of people. They're diverse, but they're called they used to be called the Kwarafa Empire, like the mixed empire in
So
Central Nigeria.
how much of them is in that group of persons? And how much? You said 200 died. So how much leave?
200 died. Well, the empire, I'm not sure how many people, but the thing with Nigeria and Niger and the Sahel Alliance, northern Nigeria is the majority is Hausa land, Casa Hausa, the Kushites, the Hausa people.
All right. Here's the thing what happen now, because I think one of the things where we are trying to do is accomplish something which you can't accomplish it the way or we are go about it. Because we are trying to get everyone in, and all these people are at each other.
Hmm.
And we are trying. One of the things we need to do is you must have a focus point where you can move from.
Hmm.
A focus point meaning you have a core set of persons with a core set of ideas. That's why I say you will need a manifesto.
Hmm.
This manifesto cover a united Africa plan
Hmm. You know
that
what?
covers all the tribes and so forth. So that now when we sit down and we have persons from each tribes, they will see that yes, this is what we want to achieve.
Hmm.
Because this is what is there that is dividing us. Because we also need to show them what is dividing us, Why
Hmm.
we're thinking like how we're thinking today. And why we need to depart from some of the things that is there that is dividing us. Because the division mainly where it's at today is caused through these European persons who form different organization and denomination and use it to divide the people by saying you are Muslim, you are that, you are that, yeah, and the people begins destroying themselves because they are differentiate themselves in that way.
Hmm.
They are not looking at they are Africans first and foremost. Having a diverse culture, we should know how to bring it together. Because even India have diverse culture, but yet still they are living together in a better way than how we are living at the
Hmm.
moment. So we need to find that common goal, and we need to find a set of us who can begin working at that.
No, no, it's already been found. It's just I gave other people a try. Zimbabwe. We all know Mapanga Joshua is Zimbabwe. We know Dr. Eric Kana is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is not hard to get to. Uganda came to Jamaica already. Zimbabwe came to Jamaica with Dr. Ericana. So it's just me. Yeah, I don't want to discriminate against people who are less famous. So I gave them a chance, but it's not an issue to get to Uganda or Zimbabwe or the African federations there. Uh,
Yeah, I
now
don't
now
want to discriminate against anyone either.
yeah, I don't want to say you're not famous enough. You can't be part of it. I just give people a
No, I
chance.
am not famous, I am not famous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean I'm looking for the world to give me fame.
Hmm.
I don't want. I'm not running down that.
So
What
so
I want to do is play my part in making this happen.
So Jamaica has been chosen as a headquarters multiple times. I think
Yeah.
Tecker Kingdom is it would be fair to invite them back again and just to move forward because they have Ethiopia. I expect multiple countries to join. It's just that people have to pick up the phone. But there's also from West Africa the Mono River Union. That's Sierra Leone,
Hmm.
Liberia, and they're more professional. And then maybe Guinea and Ivory Coast can be convinced because they've been talking about working with the West. And these four countries are actually a federation in West Africa that are
Hmm.
related to the Mali Empire, related to Ghana and the Khan empires. So, and there's Igbo land history there. So, I think those four countries can join the Sahel Alliance in West Africa. It's like, but they're so small. Everybody's waiting on what's Nigeria going to do. Are they going to convert their states to part of the United States of Africa? So we're changing everything up. But this was just a preliminary call. I haven't called people maybe for 2-3 months. Um,
Hmm.
but it's easy. It's easy to unite them across multiple countries. But I haven't called people for months, so I want to give them a chance to speak. And I'm probably going to just message the brothers, uh, the backup, the people that have already been doing things. Maponga Joshua, he's been doing things. I'm probably gonna talk to my brother he started something called Bantu Voice TV, and he's
Hmm.
helped me with the UNIA in Nigeria before. Um, but it's like we said, the stock market thing and the finance has to come as well. So I'll keep it short and move on. But since nobody else picked up, but I have to change it up and move forward because Uganda, Zimbabwe will move forward, and we'll focus less on Sudan and Ethiopia because they're going to come anyways with African Union. They've already visited Burkina Faso and the Sahel Alliance. But I wanted to
Yeah.
emphasize that these tribes that you always hear about Fulani. I know you hear about it all the time. You hear about
Yes. Yeah.
Yoruba, Igbo.
Yeah.
These are all in Nigeria.
Fulani and Igbo is something that two
These,
tribes that I hear about a lot. Yeah.
these are 40, 50 million people groups. And then the Burkina Faso is part of another group called the Mabia or Mole
Hmm.
Dogbone, the Mole Dogbone state. So all these groups, this is why they had a federation overnight, because they're giant communities with you could get 1,000 here, 10,000 there, because they're all the same culture and families. So
Let me ask you so.
so they
Yeah.
have
Let me ask you
it's
something.
easy to have a mass
Yeah.
movement.
Does all these persons, the younger folks, them know in these tribes? Do they know their culture?
They know some things, and some people are more cultural than others.
Mm.
But that's how the Sahel Alliance is. It's an ancient thing. But the
Yeah,
thing, some of they're
because
ancient. So
it is why some of the time, as I say, we need to tabloid these information and
hmm
have it electronic and print media,
hmm
so that persons it can come across a person can reach it
hmm and here's the
and
thing.
get to understand, because some of the time, most of these younger youths don't have no time to really look back at some of the cultural ways. They're
Uh-huh.
just looking at what they want now,
And
and this
here's
is what the Western Hemisphere has done to the mind of a lot
But
of us.
this is the exciting thing because with Jamaica, with the captured land, the UNIA, all these movements, Africa is so united as far as the cultural groups there, and we could call them tribes, but they're really
Mm.
sometimes they're even states. They're so big in West Africa and Africa in general, so they're so connected that a UNIA now with electronics and digital media can control the whole continent or contact the whole continent. Uganda, the East African Federation, is several million people, including DRC. They can send all their
Yes,
they
can
can send their
contact. Yes,
information in
can
Jamaica.
contact them. Yeah, you can contact them, but how much of the persons, as I am saying?
No. I'm saying they could send their information to a UNIA in Jamaica that was serious, or they could send.
Mm.
They could send their Zimbabwe has Namibia, has
Yeah,
Botswana,
the
Lesotho.
UNIA, which is there now, isn't serious.
I'm talking.
We have
I'm
to.
talking to you. I'm talking about you and
All
the
right,
people that were
all
trying.
right, all
The
right.
people.
So,
Yeah,
so
we could.
yeah, I am serious about
Yeah.
getting that done.
So we
So,
can do.
so if the person, because even today I was talking to someone and I am telling the person that we need to be more savvy with the AI tools which are there so we can utilize it to
Mhm.
edify ourselves and other persons.
hmm And what I want to do now, I want to try to give another brother a chance. He hasn't been following the Constitution and things, but he has media, and I think he could get an interview out. He's worked with the UNIA and USA before, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in his 30s, but he's one of those rebels that is always trying to defend the smaller tribes. He likes to
Yeah.
try to defend the smaller tribes, even though he's from the Igbo group. So, and he's worked with the
Is
UNIA.
he the man from St. Kitts Nevis?
No, he lives in Nigeria and he travels around.
Okay.
But he has
Okay.
something called the Bantu voice. If you know the
Mm-hmm.
Bantu, do you know the Bantu group?
Yes, man. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't hear about the Bantu.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that federation is something we talked about along with the Kush or Sahel Federation. Now
Mm-hmm.
he changed his business to call it Bantu voice. Now that the Kush is starting to rise up, so I think I could give him a chance to be more responsive and
Yeah.
responsible and to talk to you or interview you consistently, and then
Yeah.
from there move on to the programs because it all begins with dialogue and consistent
Yes.
dialogue, and then for like say let's say we've talked about it multiple times. Now
Mm-hmm.
I could talk to the people in the USA about what is the price for the stock market, and now you guys are talking. Oh, this is how the classes are being set up, and then we do it like that. But it's like when
Yeah,
it has to be
and how
dialogue.
we
It
can.
can't be
Huh?
someone doesn't pick up the phone and because oh no I'm not in charge anymore. Everybody's going to be involved. That's what seems to be happening. Some people saw that it's
Yeah,
decentralized.
that's a selfish way of looking at it, And I know what you're talking about, but it's a selfish way of looking at it.
Yeah,
We all want to lead too much. You see, sometimes some of the people them who want to lead, them don't even know what it is,
yeah.
or they're not really zestful towards the thing happening. They just want to be at the forefront.
Yeah, and I know from the culture of Africa, the capital of let's just say it like this: the culture is designed to produce a million Ibrahim Traores. It's like it's not even about him because Ouagadougou, the capital, Ouaga. I'm
Mm,
not sure what it means. Dougou means village or clan.
yeah,
It's like a machine. It's your community.
yeah.
This is the rites of passage. This is what your history. This is the language. This is
Hmm.
what you stand for. And now they've been putting all these statues and Thomas Sankara. They've been changing the culture over the years. As see, they've been talking about Kemet, ancient Egyptian, and how that's their history and how they lost it.
That is what I am talking about. We
Yeah.
want persons who are willing now to begin establishing
Uh-huh.
order of what was there before in the minds of the person so that we can step away from what these westernized persons or these European have taught us and is still trying to instill in us and using it to divide us.
And I think from you and Jamaica to if we put this Bantu Voice TV together, now the more professional people, the professional, if the Bantu Voice is professional, now we can add, of course, Burkina Faso. The ministers wants to talk. Uh,
Yeah.
the Sahel Alliance wants the Nigerians to get off Nollywood and talk serious. Uh, Zimbabwe, Mapanga
At the
Joshua wants
moment,
to talk.
I, at
Zimbabwe.
the moment, I can tell you that even though you're saying the Nigeria, I'm more interested in talking to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger people because I'm not quite sure where the persons in Nigeria are at the moment in their head. Because I am trying to move away from the dividing and people want to just be there because they might tell you, say, why are we supposed to lead this? Me not like that the part of business.
Mhm.
It is something that, you see, when you talk about famous, I have always been on the edge of famous.
Mhm.
Can just step over into the famous line. But why I don't want to do that? You step in with some persons who are there who have been dividing us for so long. And what they want to do is now use you as a voice that can reach out
Mhm.
to keep what they have been doing going on. I mean, I want that. So me know instead of step over there with them and get famous, I stay away from them and stay with the people because it is the people who are suffering under the hands, under the hands of a few. I don't want to be a part of the few.
Mhm. Well, it's there's not really, you know, it's all the same people. Nigeria is Niger River.
Mhm.
There's Congo. There's the Congo River. Then the
Yes,
Nile
I
River.
know what you're saying, but where is the unity that is looking to establish the thing at the moment? That
Mhm.
is the thing where you need to work with and help that establish. You see, one of the things that happens, people have the young youth now who have been searching for something like what is happening in Burkina Faso. That is why they stand out and were saying to the West, we are all here ready to stand up with the
Mhm.
president of Burkina Faso because this is what we want to see across the whole Africa. Now, what we need to do is see how we can strengthen that as
I
best
can
as we
I
can.
can I can I can give you the contacts of Burkina Faso, but the thing is, and this is the thing, when slavery, the reparations and repatriation was discussed, people said this is where we came from. Ghana, we came from Nigeria, we came from this. So people have been,
Mm,
we came from Liberia, we came from Sierra. So the whole governments and the communities can say, oh, this is our DNA test. This is a tribe you came from. This is a tribe. So Pan Africanism for a long time has even been based on tribe. I'm from Ashanti. I'm from this. So now Burkina Faso said that's not true Pan Africanism. This is our military. This is how we're going to do it. We saw what you were doing in Nigeria. We saw what you're doing in Ghana. This is our response. And so now
mm,
everybody's divided. There's a tribal military in Nigeria that's copying the Black Panthers. Now Sahel has their own thing, but now the diaspora is saying,
mm,
no, let's leave all that stuff we were talking about and let's join Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is going to be overwhelmed. So I could give you the
um,
contact, but if Nigeria is not
we're
participating,
not looking to
yeah.
just join Burkina Faso. We're
Hmm.
looking to use the model that they are doing, what they are doing now with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to spread that across the whole of Africa.
Exactly, and right, these are the countries that
Ah,
we're
so
reaching out to.
it's not just joining, but we want that type of thing to be across the whole of Africa. So even if two different tribes are in Nigeria or Ghana or one of those countries, or any one of those countries, they would put away their differences coming together in a uniform way.
They're all the same
So
tribe. They're all the same tribes, and it's all one country. That's what I'm talking
yes,
about.
but they are split. They are split by these denominations
The
like
borders.
Muslim, this, that, that,
No,
that.
no, no,
Those are
no.
the things.
Let me explain.
Mm.
The Mali Empire and the Mole, the tribe that's in Burkina Faso is in
Mm.
Nigeria, it's in Ghana, it's in Benin, it's in Togo. They're all one
Yes.
country, but a lot of
Yes.
people don't want
But
to
the
talk about
people
that.
in their mind, the people in their mind where they are divided by joining different denominations, whether it
No,
want to be the
joining
Christians.
they're joining different nationalities. They're saying I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian. This is my Ghanaian citizenship. I'm part of the repatriation, and a lot of
All
times
right.
that's what they're saying.
Yes.
They're saying forget all the
And
borders.
those are dividing them. That is
Yeah.
dividing them. So what we need now to do is begin reinforcing to them that even though you are from this section of the country, you are really all a part of one. So that is where we need to do now. We need to put together something like how Marcus Garvey had put the UNIA together, and we're having meetings even in Panama and all around for all the blacks in the diaspora.
What I want to do is I want to, because I, I am busy, and I think that you guys have it in control. If I send Jamaica, serious Jamaicans, the contacts in Zimbabwe, the contacts in well, Zimbabwe has Uganda contacts. I think I could get Panama and Miami maybe. Uh, I think that's enough to start. Burkina Faso, I start giving you the contacts where you all talk to them and things just
Mm.
start moving forward. But this is not an easy thing because the way, like, if I ask people to say organize USA, they can't do it. If I say reach out to Burkina Faso and make something happen, they can't do it. So I'm taking my time to make things happen, and this is like 7 years of work. There was emblems, there was propaganda that was developed, there was tools,
Yeah,
there's
all
language.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
not
I
people aren't
know. I
seeing.
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because one of the things that I've been trying to work on since maybe April or say May last year is to set myself in a financial status so that I can be able to help with some movements. And one of the things that happen is that I find that when the people are in need, they don't pay any attention to persons who can assist them
Mhm.
out of them needs. Them so even when the thing bad for them, once them can get a belly full lesser, them just lean towards it and don't even care.
Mhm.
So I understand that being able to do some of these things, you
Mhm.
need to be financially stable in a sense that you can make some things happen.
So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to end the call and I'm going to reach out to the media, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, well, we're going to start giving you the contacts and giving the Jamaican Maroon Council the contacts. And you have the documents and just start making things happen. And the thing with Jamaica is Miami is an extension of Jamaica, Bahamas, Haiti, especially the Caribbean, they all unite in Miami. So when you do something in Jamaica, it's going to extend there. And we know there's a competition about who says they're the UNIA and this and that. But from Jamaica, you can have a global impact. And Central America, Belize, Costa Rica, Panama, they all have Jamaican heritage as far as immigration
Yes, man.
and kidnapping.
Because
So
Jamaican has been in those countries
yeah,
from, yeah, doing work and thing and intermingle, breed and so forth.
even
So we know that.
Belize with the
Yes,
Garifuna that
yeah,
travel.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
we
a
know that.
mega. It's a mega country. Jamaica's branches everywhere. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like the heart of the Caribbean. So and from
Yeah,
there,
they say anywhere in the world you go, you must find a Jamaican.
yeah, they say
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
So
man. Anywhere in the world you go, you will find a
so it's
Jamaican.
it's like imagine it's an online town hall. You keep picking up the phone. Zimbabwe going to want to talk to you guys, and then it's like the continent is easy because they've been there for thousands of years. They have a House of Chiefs. They have this and that. But now you get to USA. I'm finishing up my network, but man, it's been years of talking to. There's Caribbean people that don't want me to talk to the Caribbean because the politics. They don't want it to change the
I
status
know,
quo.
I know, I know, I know. One of the things that I know that maybe by tomorrow me I go call a brethren which supposed to link me with two more persons because I told him that I will put up a challenge for representation in my constituency comes within election day when election call for this general election. And he is willing to support and possible make a challenge in his area. So what we are planning to do is see if we can put together a party in itself to work along that way. No, we know it's not to say that we will win or must win, but we are trying to change the thoughts of the people of just going with the two-edged sword, which is keeping down the development of the country here in Jamaica. So it need multiple parties. It don't need just two parties. We need two more parties at least to challenge these two major parties. So it's not that we're saying we're going to win, but we want to start something that can branch off to younger persons and push on from there.
I'm I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if I'm seeing this Ibrahim Traore wave where people are saying let's go back to Ouagadougou and Mali Empire style. I'm not. I think more Africans have to join in, but Jamaica is going to be a capital that talks to the whole continent, and they're going to have. I think that'll have more impact on the government style and the
All
culture
right,
discussion.
one of the thing that I want to do with the 12 state support or any other African country that will work with it is
And
begin training with so as to especially like how right now the diet and majority of us Jamaican is rice and flour, wheat. We don't plant those things.
uh-huh. I wanted to ask, do you have media access where you can maybe I could just give you the contact your team talks to them and interviews them and puts out the message that's going on instead of me making a
No,
call.
I don't have that at the moment, but I'll check round with a brethren of mine
Yeah,
or two who
because
I think might and see what can happen.
yeah, Zimbabwe is there. So I'll rearrange things. I want to thank you for answering again. I'll be more careful going forward with calls, but I think I have to rearrange things around Jamaica. Maybe that's a fresh form where
Mm.
you're clearly in charge. Maybe add more Jamaicans because this Sahel thing is a giant movement and it's connected to the giant of Africa, Nigeria. The same people they've already been waving flags saying how can we join. So things are about to bust open like a reservoir. So
Yeah, the
it's
only
just
time you won't get me. Yeah, the only time you won't get me unless maybe I am on a training course because sometimes we do me on a Zoom call where there's a training or any type of thing like that. But otherwise from that and so forth, I am always available.
I want to thank you because you said something that's really important that I didn't even think about. You said add the Jamaica flag, and we're talking about removing some flag because now with Africa, this wave,
Yeah,
Jamaican village could be part of Africa as far as an association or a league or a federation. So
yeah,
Jamaica village and town halls can talk to.
yeah.
There's a language barrier, but it could talk to Burkina Faso now, and it could talk to
Yeah,
Zimbabwe at the same time, and the Botswana and all the federations down there, Congo. So
yeah.
now it is possible. And that is maybe why some people didn't. I know it's why some people don't respond because they weren't featured as much. For example,
Mm.
we had a forum with Sudan and the Nubian kingdoms. But
Mm.
so the Sudan, man, it's a it's a
Uh,
it's a big issue.
the thing sometimes it's too petty within ourselves, because if you no feature at this moment, still be a part and try to get yourself feature in the thing. Because it is my aim all the time that once I see a opening to get the things that I want to see happening.
Hmm.
Because I don't remember how I get on your contact, but from a see that it is Africa, and unifying of Africa, I begin to turn on
Okay,
and
yeah,
making sure.
now we joined from the other from the Jamaican. No, that it was a brother in the UK from Igbo land. He was a Confederated States of Africa,
Okay.
Mr. Naji, I think. But
Mm.
but I wanted to put gasoline and make things cook.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. We have to blaze the fire, man. We
So
can't
so
keep it at one level.
I mean, would you? So if the thing is, I'm not sure because there's a language barrier with Burkina Faso, and then there's not a large country. They're trying to add more countries. So I can give you a government contact. But we don't have. We need to have more calls so we can have capacity to impress them. So
Mm-hmm.
I shared the minister's contact and I told him the plans and how we're going to add more countries. Then he responded because a lot of the stuff that he started is based on
Yeah.
what we've been doing in Nigeria, the UNIA, the Black Panthers security.
Mm-hmm.
We had the tribe start to look like the Black Panthers and look like Pan Africanism. Now they said let's do our own thing because
Yeah.
they've waited a long time for Nigeria and ECOWAS to help, but they didn't it didn't spread out. It got politicized. So they know everybody knows about Nigeria, and it's a lot of the stuff is based on what Nigeria is doing. So we have to break down that white supremacy right now. And
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
can reach out to them, but they want countries to join. Uh they want the things to move to grow.
I want to see it moving.
So
And
I could share the contact that's French speaking, but we they say unity is strength or a crowd is strength. So
right, right.
we have the numbers. We
What
just
you say? You are French speaking country?
we have the numbers. No, but I have shared the minister of the Sahel contact before, but
Okay,
nobody. I
that's
don't think anybody
English.
contacted it because we don't have the plan together. We have to consolidate.
That person there who speak English.
Well, we had one brother here, but he didn't RSVP. I could send you his contact, but I think he's making his daily bread as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I could share his contact, but I don't know. I know it's not Africa. People are working to get their daily bread. So I have we had
Yeah,
one
man.
brother.
I,
Yeah.
I myself, I myself is doing that, So it's just that
What I'm going to
I,
do.
I do my own thing. Me just do some planting. So
What I'm going to
my
do.
thing is not that I am working with any boss who can tell me say me not to sit down and talk because of anything like that.
I'm going to see about restructuring everything to work faster. Um, I know the people in Jamaica. I don't know if you have Miami contacts where you could. Do you have Miami contacts or know how to get them in your network? Because Miami has
Um,
all the embassies.
mm-hmm.
So it's like you do something in Kingston or in Jamaica or St. Catharines, and you have
Mm-hmm.
people that are trustworthy that could work with the embassies there. Now
In
Jamaica,
Miami.
yeah. But if you have Miami, you could have the whole. You know, you can start to work on the whole United States, and because it's all the embassies there, all the Caribbean people are there. USA can't attack like they did Maurice Bishop when we talking about the village assemblies, which is basically the African town hall and the Liberty Hall. That's what Maurice Bishop did. He said, let's have village councils to develop policies on what we should do, and let's have an African system of government instead of political parties. And they took him out, said it was because he did a violent coup, but it was the same thing that's going on in Burkina Faso. But the puppet leader got
Yeah.
removed. So,
Yeah, well,
so we need numbers.
if you want to reach people, you have to have small councils within the country, as I said, village councils.
Hmm.
And it is a way we have been looking at for some time. It is why what
Well,
we used to do, what we have still been doing is trying to put together organizations. It would be councils, as you'd call them councils, but in the community, what we would do is form an organization, whether it be a farmers organization or a benevolent society.
uh huh,
We'd register it as that.
uh huh,
But
and
and what we would use it to do is garner support to develop the whole community
hmm,
or the village,
hmm,
and we would inform the village persons because they would be the members of such an
okay,
organization,
exactly, and
and they know.
that's what the UNIA was, and it just people just like there's 1,000 Black Panther groups in the USA because they're trying to self defense. The
Yes.
benevolent societies. That's what all it
So
was.
in every state, and maybe every little county in the United States, you'll have a group,
Mhm.
the Black Panther.
Yeah,
Yes.
every city almost because
Yes.
it's their tradition
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be in the Caribbean. But now,
There, what happens, is that the
go ahead.
ruling element of our country this try their best to dismantle these type of organization because they
Mm-hmm.
know that once the people unite, they are in jeopardy of losing power,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want that.
Sad.
So they do everything to dismantle. They keep the people divided. They keep the people hungry. They keep the people against themselves.
Mm. So
It is
okay.
what has been happening for ancient time. But as I said, we need now to find this common goal. And if we begin here in Jamaica trading with Africa, getting in some rice, some flour and such the like, and other things, which the people can get it to buy from our outlet at a more better cost price.
And that would take more than the Sahel Alliance. That's what they're trying to do with tomato processing. And I know
Mm.
we just have to get most of the countries are ready to join. We just have to be patient. Like the other sister, she started sending things and saying I'm the only one talking. And yeah, I mean, there's other people in the USA. They don't understand the Caribbean because they haven't studied. They don't know what's going on. They go
They don't
to
want to. They don't want to.
yeah, a lot of people they see the Caribbean events in the USA and they say, "Oh, it's nice. That's so unity." They don't know that they're not communicating with people in the Caribbean. That there's no
Mm. You
there's
have to
no
do that to understand what is happening.
yeah, people in the USA don't know. So I'm the only one to say, "Hey, something wrong." I have to communicate directly, and then I ask for help, and people don't respond. I'm in the USA text. I send the USA Caribbean community text. They're silent. They don't want to help. They don't say, "Oh."
Yeah, I see that. I see you sending out the.
No, no, I send USA texts that nobody else can see because they're in the Caribbean or Africa. But I send texts all the time, and nobody
Yeah.
responds in the USA. So that's why I have to hold the
Mhm.
call after
Yeah.
working 10 hours. After
Yeah.
working 10 hours at midnight, I
Mm.
pick up a call and then someone says, "Why are you the only one talking?" I don't know. She sent me somebody that didn't want to help.
Mm.
And we're in the same state, maybe 2 hours away. Said that
Right.
they're the queen of Haiti, but they live in the USA.
True. Mhm.
This is people. This is what. Well, let me not laugh. Haiti was a kingdom or empire. That's a lot of people. want to be the empire emperor again, and that's
Yeah.
a lot of activists who want to be the HNIC, and they'll tell you that.
Mm.
So what I'm from Nigeria, so you tell me, or Biafra. I'm from. You tell me that with some people in the USA that could talk and tell what's going
Yeah.
on. So, wouldn't that make them Marcus Garvey? Well, you act like
Uh,
yeah. A lot of people don't want to talk.
mm.
So
I know that a lot of people are afraid of the system and what it might do to them.
yeah.
I'm not afraid of it because I sometimes I say to persons that I will be talking to someone and then may hear that feedback within. I mean I say, well, it could be the system checking through their connection to us,
Mhm.
trying to listen in on what persons are saying. Because sometimes then them have the idea where your heart and your mind lies, And they
Mhm.
might say, well, all right, we're going to run a bug pan theme thing. That's where here we're going. I was but I have no time for fear that.
Okay. So what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, brother, I'm gonna end this call and I'm going to contact the people that are already doing things because
Mm-hmm.
there's people from the East African Federation of that's over maybe 200 million people. They came to Jamaica, and I've never even been to Jamaica, and I was critical of them. But after trying to call people in Africa, that's a big. I think I need to give them another chance for the sake of black people because
What I think is, if you are going to send me some contacts, you have that WhatsApp, which is your personal one that you talk to me on at times, right?
yeah, I think I'll talk to them and then maybe just create.
Yes. If you
I'll
send
talk
me
to
the,
them and
you send on
see if
that
it's.
for the moment.
I think I need a fresh group that's basically just for people in Jamaica that are responsive, and then I'll talk to everybody else and see where their head is at. Because sometimes it's just like a miscommunication can poison everything. Like someone will get
Yeah.
frustrated and say, "Why are you?" Like some people will be silent because they want to make it. They'll be silent now because they want to make it look like I'm dominating everything. Uh, but
No, but if they are silent,
really, yeah.
if they are silent, then you will have to dominate.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I have to, if nobody else want to talk, I'll talk. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay because
Yeah.
people want to make things complicated. As far as we could say there's three countries in Africa: the Niger, the Nile, and the Congo, or the Sahel and the Congo. It's only two.
Yeah.
So people want.
Mm.
So what does the Sahel mean? So a lot of people are silent because they're now all the lies are getting exposed. So yeah,
I
what other regions are there that are historically connected in Africa? That's why people aren't
One I
talking.
think one I think with me, is that as soon as I have capital coming my way, I will be doing some of the things that we are talking about. I'm not
Mhm.
going to wait on no group of people to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it individually
All right. I'm gonna get up.
because if the group not moving, I will just do what I can as
Mhm.
an individual.
I have to get. I'll get off the call and we'll make things move. Things are moving. I just was giving people a fair chance, and
Yeah.
I'll give back to I'll talk to other people and get back to everybody. But
All right.
everything's all right because
Yeah. Yeah.
Marcus Garvey got shot at and stabbed and deported.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't had all that, and I like things calm that way. But we have the Sahel Alliance that's based off what we've been doing, talking to people in
Yeah.
Africa. But we didn't do it the Marcus Garvey way where he got famous and it's had a lot of support. It just seemingly came out of nowhere. But Sahel Alliance is 3 years old.
It's not fame I am looking.
Yeah,
I just want to bring forward to our continent, our motherland, fatherland,
yeah,
what is rightfully ours. And
yeah.
I know that I need to play my part
We're
since
coming.
I see.
We're
Yeah.
coming. I gotta get off because I have to go to work, but I have to make a call, more calls, before I get
Okay.
tired. I'm gonna
Yeah.
follow up. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.